Hey there friends! Are you ready for a fun-filled adventure? Get ready to smile from ear to ear because our Class 1 annual day is almost here. Welcome to our super-duper exciting event, the Symphony of Smiles, where our Class 1 stars are all set to shine like never before.
Okay, sound. respected chief guest, Principal Sir, Vice Principal Ma'am, Head Mrs. Ma'am, Senior Mrs. Ma'am, parents, and my dear friends. It is an honor to welcome you all to the annual day program of Class 1. Thank you all for your precious time. صباح الخير ضيفنا المحترم السيد المدير، السيدة نائبة المدير، السيدات وكيلات المدرسة وأولياء الأمور الكرام وأصدقاء الأعزاء، يشرفني أن أرحب بكم جميعا في العرض السنوي للصف الأول. شكرا لكم جميعا على وقتكم الثمين. We are delighted to have with us today our chief guest.
نحن سعداء أن يكون ضيفنا الرئيسي معنا اليوم.
I am honored to welcome our esteemed chief guest, Mrs. Amira Al Hassan, the Kuwait Country Program Manager of UN Habitat since 2019. With over a decade of dedicated service at UN Habitat, Mrs. Amira previously held the role of Assistant Head of Office from 2014 to 2019. She is actively involved in key initiatives such as being a member of UN Sand and Dust Storms Coalition and collaborates with the UN Habitat GCC and ROAS. Her work focuses on translating the new urban agenda and Agenda 2020 into actionable projects that align with the strategies of GCC and Arab region countries. Please join me in welcoming a remarkable leader and advocate for sustainable urban development, Mrs. Amira Al Hassan. Welcome to our program, ma'am. Thank you. It's my pleasure to welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Amir Ahmed, a dynamic leader who has significantly impacted the Indian community in Kuwait. As the current president of the Indian Doctors Forum, Dr. Ahmed has been instrumental in elevating the organization's mission to new heights, focusing on health awareness, community service, and professional development for medical practitioners. Dr. Ahmed holds a distinguished academic background and has dedicated himself to enhancing healthcare in Kuwait through various initiatives. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Amir Ahmed, a true advocate for health and well-being. Welcome to our program, sir. Thank you.
Pay tribute to the land in which we all prosper. Kindly rise for Tahil Kuwait, followed by the Kuwait National Anthem. شكرا لكم. فلنشيد بالأرض التي نزداد فيها جميعا الرجاء التفضل بالنهوض لتحية الكويت. يليه النشيد الوطني الكويتي. تحيا الكويت، تحيا الكويت، تحيا الكويت، تحيا الكويت. عاش الأمير، عاش الأمير، عاش الأمير. تحيا الأمة العربية، تحيا الأمة العربية، تحيا الأمة العربية.
الكويت سلمت للمجد وعلى جبينك طالع السعد. وطن الكويت، وطن الكويت، وطن الكويت سلمت للمجد. يا من آباء الأولى كتبوا ذكر الخلود فنادت الشهوب الله أكبر إنهم عرب طلعت شواذب جنة الخلد. وطن الكويت سلمت للمجد وعلى جبينك طالع السعد. وطن الكويت، وطن الكويت، وطن الكويت سلمت للمجد.
Let us invoke the blessings of the Almighty with the recital of the Holy Quran. فلنستحضر بركات الله سبحانه وتعالى بتلاوة القرآن الكريم. والآن مع قراءة القرآن الكريم وترجمة.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد صدق الله العظيم.
I seek refuge in God from the curse Shaitan. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Say, He is God, the one and only. God, the self-sufficient. He did not give birth, and He was not born, and there is nothing comparable to Him. Light and brightness have always been associated with positivity and motivation. It dispels the darkness of ignorance. To make this event a blessed one, we request Principal Sir, Chief Guest and Guest of Honor to please come forward and light the lamp of knowledge and begin this program.
الضوء والسطوع ارتبطا دائما مع الإيجابية والتحفيز إنه يبدد ظلام الجهل ولجعل هذه المناسبة مناسبة مباركة نطلب من السيد المدير والسادة الضيوف وضيوف الشرف أن يتقدموا ويضيئوا مصباح المعرفة ويبدأوا البرنامج. أطلب من مدير مدرسة أن يلقي كلمة.
Respected Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Amira Al-Hassan, Head of UN Habitat, Kuwait and GCC Mission. Dr. Amir Ahmed, a popular humanitarian in Kuwait. If I start explaining, there are a lot, a big list of things are there. And wonderful parents, dear teachers, and my lovely children. We are assembled here for celebrating the annual day for grade 1. You know, once upon a time, or you compare any of the living beings on earth, the schooling is only by the parents, isn't it? Whether any animal you take, any birds you take, their schooling, their education, their life skills are taught by the parents only. Even long back, when humans were in forests or in the pragmatic time, that was same with us also. But over the years, what happened, because of our special ability to think, the wisdom came in. For some time, we had students going to the teacher's house and learn things. In India, we call it as Gurukul. Guru means teacher, Kul means his house or the teacher's house. Over the years, the knowledge has widened, its horizon, and we have so many different subjects. So that type of schooling was inadequate for the humankind. All of you might have noticed that in every subject, probably the highest degree is PhD, doctor in philosophy. Why is it? Even mathematics, you take literature, it's all PhD. And most of us know that because once upon a time, the knowledge was put under the name philosophy. And that is why when we study individual subject, finally it goes to the level of, or that particular subject, what is called as philosophy. And hence, we get the doctorate in philosophy. We, teachers in the school, when we handle with your beloved children, it's a very important, very tough task to educate them. Because this generation is the latest generation, and the brains are tuned in such a way that they are ready to accept and they can do miracles in life. And if you cannot provide a good education to them, please understand, good education, I don't mean A plus or A star in the progress report, rather than an overall development of the child. That is what I meant now. So it becomes very, very difficult. As the humankind develops, also one of the biggest problem what we face is the state what is known as ADHD. All of you know that. Attention deficit hyperactivity disease. All of you know about it. But the unfortunate thing is that the latest study shows that 30 to 60% of every classroom children have this problem. We don't recognize it. But a good counselor can recognize to a great extent, and we need to support these children, whatever is required for overcoming this deficiency. And we are trying our best. In fact, the annual day celebration is one of such attempt from our side, so that children are getting exposed to various tough situations, and they make it easy, learn it, and they present it, they become more confident, and they are able to communicate well. Two important things required: being confident and communicate well for the next generation to come. All of you know that maybe after 10 years or 10, 15 years, those professions what we see now as elite professions may not be existing also. That is how the world changing. That's how the education is going to change. So we should be able to adapt our children in such a way that tomorrow they are able to balance, they are able to adapt, and they are able to be successful human beings in the forthcoming days. And that is our effort. And in that journey, we always seek help from you. And we have a set of rules and regulations in the school in that perspective only. There are uniforms, there are, the how the hair should be cut, and how one should be speaking in the school. A lot of things are there. So sometimes some parents may feel that what is this, a military camp? No, it is not a military camp. It is a place where we are making the children to understand the importance of doing together or working together, thinking together, and learning through collaborate learning. So for that, we need a certain degree of discipline in the classroom. You just understand that, see, at home, a child is doing whatever he or she wants to do. It's okay, no problem, we can manage it. But if that is not controlled to an extent when the child comes to classroom, what is going to happen? There are 30 students sitting in the class, and one student is roaming around, distracting the whole class. The child is not getting anything in the class, and others are also getting distracted. So at times, what we do is that we call for the help to the parents. We are calling, a teacher is calling a parent only for help. Don't think that it is to complain against you or about your child, or to tell that your child is not doing well. No, we need support because we are handling the most explosive type of brains in the classrooms. And you, all of you, those who had the elder ones during the COVID time, you understood that how difficult it was to handle the children. Now, then the classrooms, and it took almost 4 years for us to tune back normal into the disciplined life in the classroom, but still we get few children in some of the classes because of, as I mentioned, ADHD. So sometimes we call the parents, say that if it is too much or beyond control, we call the parents, please go for a session with a counselor. Some parents find it quite offensive. What is this? My child is absolutely fine. Every children are fine. But the time what we live in is a typical time. Lot of factors. It could be heredity. It could be the environmental factors. But ultimately, if you are unable, the child is unable to sit in the classroom and listen to the teacher and listen to the instructions and to follow that, then the academic part is not going to take place what we expect to do that. See, sometimes, I think last year, there was an incident, one parent was called, said that, the child is not completing the work in the classroom. So the parent, whatever he or she wants, let her complete. He is not going to become a space scientist. So whatever he does, see, parents' perspective we fully understand. But what happens that a minimum amount of task what is done, I'm not asking to do that to the perfection, but the minimum task is not done, the child will not know the importance of finishing the task. We all have to finish the task. So it is not the knowledge what is imparted, it is the task given, how well it is accomplished. So this is why, this is one example I told you what is the vision we have about our children. So your support, your cooperation in that line when it comes, the child is going to be benefited. All these annual days when we practice, what all changes are there. You cannot put an A star or A or B grades for them during this preparation. Last almost, before vacation we started, last 1.5 months the preparation is going on. During this time, whatever they learn is much more than what they learn in the classroom, which is essentially required for their life in future. So that's why we are sometimes calling and say that uniform is important, the tie, shoe, everything is important, haircut is important. So one child is not coming in proper uniform and we allow them, then immediately other children say, ma'am, he is not coming with the proper haircut, why he is so special? Children are very smart. They will question us. So we don't have an answer. So to support that only, we always call you, always in the sense when there is a problem, we call you back to support the child. And my humble request is that henceforth also, as long as our journey is together in bringing up the child to the best, as I always say, tomorrow's global citizen, please help us. For all my teaching staff, all my colleagues, I am extending this from my behalf as well as my teachers' behalf, extending this support, please give us. And see how the child is going to change tomorrow. And we understand that as parents, as teachers, when we use a bad word, if we use a bad word, children will notice immediately. They know what is a bad word, what is a good word. The same happens at home also. So in front of the children, please be careful. They are super brains. They will grasp anything just like that, and they will use wherever you couldn't even imagine where they are going to use. So please remember these things. As I said, it's a 50-50 partnership in education. So we look forward to your great support. Let us bring our children to that pinnacle where they are going to be the beautiful human beings, the values, the compassionate values, or maybe the love, affection, all these things. If that soft values are not instilled in the child, tomorrow world is going to be a tough place or a tougher place than what we are having today. So this also should come from parents and teachers. So that combination of parents and teachers, you are the 100%, the most important people in child's life, there is no doubt about it. But there are certain areas where teacher can contribute. The difference, I can tell you, a teacher when deals with a child, there is no partiality. All children are same for her. But for us, what will happen when our children, as parents, when we look at our children, when our child does something wrong also, okay, it's a child, no problem, isn't it? So that will not be entertained by a teacher because she is answerable to other children. Why this child is allowed, not other child. So that applies